Hey, welcome back to the Sleepy Eye Pottery Collector channel. As you know, at this time I've posted numerous videos onto the channel and I've received some great feedback from many of you. I greatly appreciate that. For those of you who haven't seen my first posting, please go and watch it. But I wanted to reiterate a couple of things that I said during that first posting. This channel is really about providing education and knowledge transfer from the information that I've gathered over the numerous years of collecting. I've been collecting Sleepy Eye pottery for almost 50 years. I can assure you I don't know everything about Sleepy Eye pottery. For me, the joy is continuing to learn and discover and put the history and the story of old Sleepy Eye pottery out there so that others can gain the knowledge or they can regain the excitement of collecting this amazing pottery. There are a number of resources out there for old Sleepy Eye pottery. And in an upcoming video, I will review those and hopefully you'll find that helpful because I've certainly found them incredibly helpful over the years. Today I'm going to talk about the old Sleepy Eye stoneware vase, which was produced by the Weir Pottery Company. This is it here, as you can see. And I will compare it to the pottery vase that was produced by Western Stoneware. Both companies were located in Monmouth, Illinois when they were producing their potteries. The Weir Pottery Company became part of Western Stoneware Company back in 1906, and basically it was 6 other pottery companies along with Weir that merged into the Western Stoneware Pottery Company. The Weir Pottery Stoneware vase was produced between 1899 and 1906. The vase, along with the stein and the bowl and the buttercrock, were produced by the Weir Pottery Company for the Sleepy Eye Milling Company, which, as you can imagine, was in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. These stoneware pieces were used by the Sleepy Eye Milling Company as premiums or promotional products, as we would think about them today, and were given away to those who purchased their flour. As you can see, the stoneware vase measures approximately 8.5 inches tall, and it's about 4.5 inches across the base. Interesting thing about this vase is the vase features the trademark head, which is a profile that's distinctly different than that seen on the stein, the bowl, and the butter. And let me just put up a stein here just in comparison so you can see the distinct difference between the trademark Indian head here and this more classic Indian head profile that we know so well that is on the steins and the bowls and the vase that were produced by Weir. When we look at this trademark profile, a couple of things of interest. First of all, notice the difference in the detail. Also notice this feather that comes up. There's actually a couple feathers here, but there's a feather here that comes up, which is distinctly different than that seen in the profile on the other stoneware pieces. There's an earring that's right here off of the ear of the Indian as you look forward onto this. Like the other stoneware pieces, if you look down here, you can see the words Old Sleepy Eye just right below or at the base of the profile here. Also note the striking pebbling, and I'll try to tip this a little bit so you can get a sense of the pebbling texture that's here on this stoneware vase. It's really striking to see. Some people have referred to this as orange peel texturing or pebbling, but it's a feature that's only found on the vase, the stoneware vase, and not found on the other stoneware pieces. The other thing is note the ridge, the upper ridge here, and the intricate detail that's there, and also the intricate detail on the ridge here at the bottom. That's going to be important as we look at some comparisons to the pottery pieces. And additionally, if you look at the ridge, there's a vertical ridge here on each side of the vase that also has this very nice, intricate detail work within the clay molding. So we look at the reverse side of the vase. It's got the classic, or what's often referred to as the classic cattail motif. You can see the cattail portion of it here on the vase. There's always a dragonfly, as you can see here. Although this one isn't painted very well, there is a frog that's present here on the lower right-hand side as you face the vase. And the other thing, again, although not highlighted as much here, I think this is actually a water lily flower that is right here on the left-hand side of the cattail leaves that come up. Many of these pieces will be impressed with a letter on the bottom. You can see this one is not, but often they would be impressed with either a letter O or a letter W on the vases. I would say you can see an impressed letter on the vase, on the bottom of the vases, about half of the time. Again, we don't really know the significance of the impressed letters that are on the base of these stoneware pieces. People have speculated that it was, a specific potter, and that's why a letter was assigned to them, and that's why they're there. Others would suggest maybe it indicated a plant or a division that was assigned that mark. Or maybe, we don't know. Maybe it was a specific period of time in which the vases were actually made. Part of the joy of collecting these pieces of Old Sleepy Eye, both pottery and stoneware, is the variations that one can find. So I'm going to turn this around and just put another piece up adjacent to this as a comparison, because these are the fun things to talk about, the differences that we see in these pieces. So let's put them side by side. So both of these are the classic Old Sleepy Eye stoneware vases, but note that in this piece, the upper ridge was not glazed or painted the blue color or Flemish color, and again on the bottom, the ridge was also not painted, as is typical of the traditional Old Sleepy Eye stoneware vases. Also note that this vertical ridge or pattern on both sides of the vase was not painted, as is classic of the Old Sleepy Eye vases. Now, if we turn these vases all the way around, we can see that the motif is indeed the same, except for, again, notice that these ridges are not stained blue on this unusual example. This example, interestingly, does have one of the impressed markings. As you can see here, the W that is impressed here on the bottom of this vase. So this is clearly a distinct variation, as you can see from the classic. So when we see a piece like this in relationship to the classic pieces that we see, the question always arises, was this a quality control or quality assurance failure, or was this planned? And perhaps what people have referred to as a lunch hour piece, where the potter, whoever it was, or that did the glazing on this piece, left those areas, including these ridges, intentionally unstained. We'll never really know, but these are the variations that make collecting Old Sleepy Eye pottery quite fun and ongoing. You're always going to find something new and interesting to try to investigate. Now let's compare the stoneware vase to the vase that was made, the cattail vase that was made by Monmouth Pottery. So you can see it here, fairly similar in size, but you will see that we no longer have that trademark Indian profile on the front of it. In fact, nowhere do we see any of the words Old Sleepy Eye embossed on the vase. It does continue to have this pebbling, as you can see here. I'll try to bring it a little closer so you can appreciate it. But it has that orange peel or pebbling in the background that is typical of the vases. But look here at the top. That intrinsic design that was present on the stoneware vases although we have ridges, that design is no longer present within those ridges. And if you look on the side, that vertical motif and intrinsic staining pattern that was so common, like turn it around, on the stoneware pieces really has been lost. There's a little bit of a hint of a ridge here, but you've really lost that intrinsic staining, that intrinsic molding pattern. Now, if we turn this all the way around, again, you'll see that the motif is the same from piece to piece. It's just that the cattail pattern and motif with the dragonfly and the frog and what I think is a water lily blossom is present on both sides of the vase, as opposed to just on the reverse side of the vase in the stoneware example. Again, note this frog is, because of the variation in painting, is highlighted a bit more clear than what this one is here. And then again, what I think is the water lily flower is certainly much more highlighted in this pottery piece compared to the stoneware piece. This classic blue and white cattail vase is not marked. A small subset of these will be marked, and when they are, it's usually using the classic Western stoneware maple leaf mark on these vases. If they are marked with that maple leaf marking from Western stoneware, they will certainly command a significant premium to try to acquire one. While the blue and white cattail vases are the most common color to see in the cattail vases that were produced by Western stoneware, it's important to realize that they were produced in many colors and many combinations of colors, and are frequently an area of intrinsic interest and collection amongst those within the old Sleepy Eye collecting community. Let me just show you, just as an example, here is a all cobalt or all blue cattail vase that was also produced by a Western stoneware, very distinct dark color. You can see there's some variation in the size. That's pretty common in the vases. Although they were all thought to be the same size, it's not uncommon to see variations in the height of these vases. But here just highlights maybe a bit of your appetite to learn more about the various colors and combinations of colors that can be seen on these cattail pottery vases. In the future, I will talk about these significantly more and highlight some of the various colors that you can see within the cattail vases produced by Western stoneware. I hope you've enjoyed joining me today to learn about the vases that were produced by Weir Pottery Company, as well as the Western Stoneware Pottery Company. Please tell your friends and colleagues about the Sleepy Eye Collecting channel. If you have questions, again, I really encourage you to reach out and with questions, or if you have additional information. I'm sure there are things I can learn from you that I haven't said on these presentations that I would love to learn, as we're all in the process of trying to gain greater knowledge in our path to collecting old Sleepy Eye pottery. I encourage you to subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe link. If there is a particular old Sleepy Eye pottery topic you'd like me to cover in the future, please just reach out and tell me about it. And if I have some expertise or the ability, I will absolutely cover that topic in the future. Thanks again for joining.